So, one thing that's always bugged me is that in the face of the incalculable atrocities that the U.S. government has done, I have felt powerless to do anything about it. And I've tried. I've ran 3 congressional campaigns now to try to get people elected, to change the laws, to change the rules, to get our voices heard. I've lobbied my state senator. I've worked very hard, tirelessly in the political realm to try to make a difference. In fact, we took over the Republican Party in my county. And it was this idea that, maybe we could get in somehow and change the system from within. I just ended up becoming even more disheartened, realizing that it's all just a big show. All the campaigns are just these weird beauty pageants. People are just talking about how great they are and constantly giving the same speech at different events. And in the end, they do very little to actually try to help us or to try to change the system, to try to get us back to some semblance of sanity. It doesn't happen. So then I tried another route. Let me just try to become wealthy. I'll try to become wealthy and see if I can make a difference that way. But in the end, the government does not want us wealthy. They want us to be working. They want us to be subservient. And it's just very difficult to try to win at their game that's been rigged from the start. Then I discovered Bitcoin. And I had a light bulb moment where I realized this could be it. This could be our golden ticket. This could be something that we could actually use to change the system. And I've been a supporter ever since. And as the network grows and more people join in, more people are essentially voting for sound money. We are voting against the constant inflation of our currency. We're voting against the government being able to do whatever they want at any given time and to be able to tax us all. We're voting against that. We're voting against the IRS having the ability to seize any and all of our funds at a whim. We're voting against these things by buying Bitcoin. So it's much, much more important to me than just the monetary incentive to buy and hold Bitcoin. To me, there is a spiritual incentive to buying and holding Bitcoin, where we're essentially, it's the alternative. We're voting for the alternative. By participating in our current system, you're basically condoning the violence that has been perpetrated on humanity by the evil, parasitic, elite ruling classes. And if you want to do something about that, go out there, buy Bitcoin, evangelize it, set up your own communities outside of the current system. We can finally do that. We depended on them before. And at this point, we no longer need to depend on them. Bitcoin allows us to have freedom. And we got to get people involved, because the government has realized that they cannot stop it and they cannot shut it down. So what they're going to try to do is usurp its power to try to buy as much of it as they can to try to control it. And we're already seeing giant corporations buying Bitcoin, billionaires buying Bitcoin, and the very next phase will be governments publicly buying Bitcoin. I think that they already are. They're just not admitting it yet. Before it gets too bad, we need more average, everyday citizens buying and holding Bitcoin as much as possible. The more average, normal citizens that have Bitcoin, the better. Because we need it to be truly decentralized, so no one is in control of it, and nobody can take our power away. And I think that that's what's amazing, because in a sense, Bitcoin can be that spark of revolution we need to get our country back on track, where we actually care about sound monetary principles. We end our unnecessary, needless wars of aggression, and we start focusing on building our communities back home, we don't put the needs of a few multi-billion-dollar corporations above those of your average citizens anymore, it is going to change. And that is the promise of Bitcoin. You're buying a ticket to the new world we all so desperately crave. So join, be a part of it, make a difference, build communities, and don't let giant corporations and governments control the people's currency.